Austria, France, Germany, Hungary, Portugal, and Spain, but most were from the Italian peninsula. Though splintered by disparate politics and geographies, the college was nonetheless bound in its common faith and allegiance to the Roman Catholic Church. The group had been meeting in its secret session of conclave, duty-bound since February to choose their next pope. From within this pool of cardinals had emerged a few favourites, known as the papabili, to succeed the popular and now deceased Pope Clement XII, who had been elected 10 years earlier. Conclave had been a tradition for nearly 500 years, since the Council of Lyons, and once the doors to the Sistine Chapel were closed and sealed, no one was allowed to enter or leave until an agreement was reached by 2/3 vote. Until then, Vatican Hill would be placed on lockdown, while the rest of Rome joined in a steady stream of rumour and gossip about who their next pope might be. The speculation became a favourite pastime along the Italian peninsula, and an entire industry of wagering and placing bets on outcomes had swelled around these elections, though the papal threat of perpetual banishment had tried to tamp down the practice. Like other conclaves from the recent past, the Sistine Chapel in 1740 had been converted by carpenters into a makeshift hotel. Each cardinal was assigned a 2-story flat that included a small bedroom, study and valet quarters, and during the conclave, their contact with the outside world, even food and drink, could only be accommodated through small revolving turntables from beyond the chapel walls. Though graced by Michelangelo's wondrous frescoes on the altar wall and ceiling, the place was otherwise chilly and cramped. Most of the cardinals in the college were past 60 years old and well beyond their physical prime, so it was not a large surprise when 4 fell seriously ill from the unhealthy conditions, and 2 caught fever and died. But even these deprivations could not spur a consensus in the choice of a new pope. This was because the college was facing a tall task. It had to find the one among them who was best suited to balance the spiritual well-being of Christendom, as well as govern the serpentine-shaped territory controlled by the Vatican, known as the Papal States, while also navigating the cloak-and-dagger intrigue of international diplomacy. These pragmatic realities caused rifts to form that had splintered the cardinals. Some supported those candidates favouring strong Italian-centric policies, while others were more disposed to those papabili with a more multinational point of view. A third block of voters had emerged too, called the Zelanati, and it demanded that any nominee possess the moral and spiritual fibre necessary for the job, which had not always been the case. Under these fractious conditions, the conclave became a high-stakes game of political chess. Those papabili with the best chances of winning were tendered to the Sacred College of Cardinals in February and March 1740 through a process known as scrutiny. Some candidates came closer to election than others and fell shy by only 1 or 2 votes, like Cardinals Aldrovandi of Bologna, Lanfredini of Florence, Riviera of Urbino, and Ottobani of Ostia, who was also dean of the college. None received the needed majority, however, so other names were floated, which only added to the intrigue. Dozens of ballots were cast as winter turned to spring, yet the conclave remained in a stubborn deadlock. Then came the infamous Roman summer, and with it the fleas, the lice, the dust, and the stale smells of an airless, humid chapel that had never been designed to serve, quite literally, as a college dormitory.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.